Created live on Fireside.
Hello, friends!
Hello, everyone! So good to be here.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Amanda.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Chris. It's so good to see your face in your normal place where it should be. I'm glad you had a good vacation, it sounds like, but I like our sets to be the same.
I did. I had a really great vacation, and yeah, it's a lot less. I'm like, got all my everything's where it's supposed to be. Although even before we went on, I was still like getting it set up because I was still unpacking, and so I'm like getting everything back to like where I want it to be positioned and all that.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, it's like going off-site is definitely a weird thing, but you know, we made it work. We made it happen. So
You made it happen. So thank you for that, Chris.
So my wife made it.
Community down.
My wife made it happen.
That's true. That's true.
She allowed it to happen.
She was the MVP of last week's episode, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. No doubt about that. Well, welcome everybody to another live episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. Welcome to episode 13, our Christmas in July extravaganza. We're so excited for today's show.
I love doing this show as we discuss every single day. It feels like, oh my gosh, we're so excited for Monday's show. It's just, it never stops. The excitement's always there. But this episode, Chris, I have been like just chomping at the bit. It's just made me so happy. I've listened to the Christmas playlist probably 1,000 times. It's a good week. Episode 13.
Episode 13. Lucky 13.
Lucky 13.
Absolutely.
So we're pumped.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, and if you haven't had a chance to check out the Christmas tunes we'll be talking about today, you can click the link in the fortune cookie right now, and that'll take you to our links page, which has the link to the official Chris and Amanda Show holiday playlist for 2021. So it's just started. Don't worry, we'll be adding a lot more tunes to it, but it's already got some good tunes, especially the ones we'll be talking about today. So definitely check it out if you've never heard any of the songs that we're going to be talking about today. Before we get started, though, just want to do some quick thanks, appreciation, and recognition. So first of all, gotta say a big thank you to our official show sponsor of the day. And this is great because it's like, this is a great show to be sponsoring, which is the Christmas in July episode. And so we want to thank Mike Ham and the Morning Spotlight podcast for sponsoring our show today. Mike is just awesome. Such a great guy. I love the Morning Spotlight. I had a awesome opportunity to be a guest on Mike's show, and it's just great. So definitely go over and check that out. What do you listen to the Morning Spotlight? We talk to Mike like every day, but like Mike's just the best.
And you know what? We were so proud to get his shirt. So there's Mike.
I
like said earlier that I'm going to make him have a big head by stretching it out so you can see.
Yeah.
But he certainly doesn't have a big head. And he prides himself in saying he's the coolest guy in title insurance. And I can't disagree.
Nope, not at all. He is definitely the coolest guy in title insurance that I know. But maybe the only guy in title insurance. But he's definitely the coolest for sure.
I know a lot of guys in title insurance, and I assure you, he is the coolest guy.
Yes, you definitely know more people in title insurance than I do. Yes, and he is definitely the coolest guy. And we are so happy to have Mike on board as today's official show sponsor. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had some really awesome show sponsors. Last week, we had Kerry Zarb and Coffee with Kerry podcast is our show sponsor. And our first show sponsor was Doina with the Jump In podcast. So really, really excited to have some great show sponsors 3 weeks in a row. We have more coming up. If you're interested in sponsoring, becoming a show sponsor of the Chris and Amanda Show, as you know, we do the show every Monday live, 12 p.m. right here exclusively on the Fireside app. And then you can always watch the video versions of this by joining our Patreon, or now we have a brand new YouTube channel. So you can head over there and watch the show, the full episodes of the show as well. Patreon members get a little bit more because they get some cool like reaction videos that we do. Oh, well, thank you. And you get to vote on songs choices. So you get a little bit more power. Membership has its privileges.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I'm thrilled that we're now on YouTube, so that way everyone can see the video versions, because there's something to be said about the video versions. And I just have to thank you for spending hours uploading all of those 12 episodes. So thank you so much, Chris. It was no easy task. So can we all give Chris a round of applause, because he's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Why, thank you. It's my pleasure to put our show out there to the world so everybody can check it out.
Our obnoxiousness.
Yeah,
the world needs it.
I love it. Yes. So yes, please definitely check that out. And make sure too, as you listen here, feel free to participate, comment, jeer or cheer or boo, or feel free to agree or disagree. We always leave room for people to come up and talk, especially at the end of the show. So feel free to pop on up as we go on and talk about what we do best, which is talk about the music choices for each other. So Amanda, for those people new to the show who may be joining us for the first time, and for those who will be watching or listening to us for the first time, would you like to explain how the show works?
Absolutely. So every week, Chris and I pick 4 songs for each other, and our amazing Patreon members narrow it down to their 3 favorites. And sometimes we're a little disappointed, but at the end of the day, we still liked all 4 songs. So we give each other our 3 songs, we review them, we listen to them, we write our very complicated notes here that I happen to have on title insurance paper, incidentally enough. And we have a lot of fun dialogue with each other's songs. I talk about my feelings. Chris talks about a lot of facts and history behind the stuff, from mostly coming from songfacts.com. It's just a really good time. And we have a very complicated scoring system of what do we want to do it today? Should we say Christmas trees?
Chris, so let's throw it out to the audience. Let's let the audience decide. So normally, yes, we do a record rating system of 1 to 5 records, but today, because it's Christmas in July,
yes,
we thought it'd be fun to do a different rating system. So do you guys want us to rate songs in Christmas trees
or wreaths? Christmas trees. Do we have any claps for Christmas trees?
Claps
any
for Christmas
claps
trees.
for wreaths? Any claps for Christmas presents?
Or claps for candy canes? Well, Christmas trees it is.
Christmas trees it is. Okay. So 1 Christmas tree means it's not good at all. It needs to go away. It should have never been written. And we still have yet to issue a 1 Christmas tree or a 1 record.
That Christmas tree is on fire.
Absolutely.
It's up in flames.
Listen, that 1 Christmas tree is below a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Whoa, okay.
That shows how low a 1 goes, right?
Wow, that is okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
1 is a serious thing, and then 5 is like, the angel on the top of the tree, or the star on the top of the tree, like the moments.
The total the angels have come out. The bells are ringing. It's the greatest Christmas tree you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
The most beautiful Christmas tree.
And we've not given out any Christmas tree or 5 Christmas trees, but we have given out 5 records. We don't withhold those 5 records, but we do give them when they're deserved.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Occasionally we give some 2 records to some songs that Amanda will never understand. Reference episode 12 if you want to know a little bit more about that. And I would say that video version might be fun to watch, because I'm sure my faces, I haven't went back and watched the full video version yet, but I'm sure my faces were pretty interesting.
What's really great about that video version, because I uploaded it, is that and for anybody that watches it, and I do have a little note in there, so FYI, I was in the room, and the internet was it was good enough, but not to stream video. So my freezes a lot and intermittently goes on and off. However, Amanda's stream is perfect. So what's great is you'll see my face frozen like this, and then you just see Amanda reacting to because you still hear the audio going. It's absolutely hilarious. And so it just adds to the drama of last week's episode with the controversial hurt review by Amanda and my controversial review of Uptown Girl by Billy Joel, which is
Absolutely.
still being discussed.
Yes, James was very disappointed in the audience.
Yes, there was a lot. There was a lot of disappointment going on, but hey, it's not.
It happens.
Song can't be. Yeah, the song can't be. It's something for everybody. So
it wasn't a one.
It was not a one. It wasn't a one. It was not a one. And James, I saw your question real quick. So yes, if you'd like to get some more information about becoming a sponsor, just DM us and we'll talk about that.
He says still unhappy.
That's okay, my friend.
Fair enough, James. I feel you. Enough. You know I feel you. So let's dive into the song choices.
Let's dive in. Christmas in July.
I can't handle the anticipation anymore. It has to start.
Here we go.
Yay! Okay, so Chris's songs for me to listen to, which I think anyone who knows me in the audience and follows our Instagram knows that I'm just a lover of all things Christmas. It's just so much fun. It's a happy place for me. So I'm just so pumped. Your first song is I Want an Alien for Christmas by Fountains of Wayne. Your second song was All the Gifts I Need by J.D. McPherson, which a couple episodes ago, I was introduced to him and loved his sound. So I've got some notes on that. And your third choice for me to review was Candy Cane Lane by, is it Sia?
Yep.
Awesome, by Sia. So those were your song choices to me.
All right. Well, and I'm so excited to hear your notes and responses to these songs. So your three song choices for me this week are the Carpenters' Merry Christmas, Darling. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that one. Elvis Presley, Blue Christmas.
I'll have a blue
Christmas without you. Okay, and number 3, there we go. Carney and Wendy Wilson. Hey, Santa. Hey, Santa. Yes. So so those are your 3 songs. I have so many cool notes about each of these songs. I can't wait to get going. And who wants to go first?
Can I go first? Because I've been itching to talk about I Want an Alien for Christmas.
I knew you would. And I'm just going to say right now.
But I
it's okay. As I try to do every single week, which isn't look at this. This is great. Look at this party. This is awesome. So as I try to do every week, and this is why the show works so well, is most of the time, and 99.9% of the time, I send Amanda a song she's never heard of in her life. And mostly, and usually not even the artist. So it has not changed with Christmas music.
All that's changed is I knew one artist, but I didn't know any of the songs.
Right.
So at first I'm like, I want an alien for Christmas? Come on. What? But then I listened to it and I'm going, I want an alien for Christmas. I still was judging it too much. Just judging it too harshly because I'm going, why would someone even write a song about aliens for Christmas? Why would anyone want an alien for Christmas?
It's the same reason why somebody would write a song about I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, that's on my notes. And so here I was thinking, not harshly, but a little judgmental.
You're being very literal again, Amanda.
I was. And then I channeled my Amanda's Pandora station that plays I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. And I'm going, why do I love that song? But I'm not willing to actually entertain that I might like I Want an Alien for Christmas. Like, what's the difference? And so I started kind of really comparing the 2 songs together because I think it's fair to do that.
Right. Yeah.
And I really like I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I have fond memories to it. It's just a fun song.
Of course.
But with that being said, I like the music of I Want an Alien for Christmas better. So I have to say, if I Want an Alien for Christmas is here and I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas is here, this is I Want an Alien for Christmas just ranked higher than I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. But with that being said, it sounds like, okay, if it was like a different song and it wasn't a Christmas song about wanting an alien for Christmas, like the tune of it, I think would have been a really big hit.
Yeah. And Fountains of Wayne, There's so much history about Fountains of Wayne I could give you.
I never heard of them before. No surprise.
Yeah. So Fountains of Wayne, were an amazing band. Unfortunately, we lost Adam Schlesinger early last year. And I believe he was a casualty of COVID. And an amazing song. Fountains of Wayne are just amazing. Adam's an amazing song. Remember, we talked about Josie and the Pussycat soundtrack a couple weeks. He was part of the main writing crew on that. If everybody remembers That Thing You Do, the band The Wonders.
Yes.
All those songs were written by Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne.
That makes complete
and
sense.
He's written so many things on top of Fountains of Wayne just being an awesome band. And so fun fact about this song, which I didn't know because I looked it up for you because I was like, oh, let me find out. So this song was actually written. Adam Schlesinger wrote this song originally for Hanson to be included on their Snowed In Christmas record.
Like,
but then
Hanson?
Yeah, but then kept it for himself because he was like, he really loved it. So he wanted to put it out as Fountains of Wayne. So this came out.
He did not give it to them. Oh my god.
So this came out as a CD single that I bought years and years ago. Fountains of Wayne. They released it themselves. It was this, and it was another original song called "Man in the Santa Suit," which was written by the other songwriter in Fountains of Wayne. And it's a great back and forth, and I love because first of all I have this I love aliens, and I just think that I want an alien for Christmas. Bring me an alien this year. I want a little green guy about 3 feet high.
It's so funny.
It's the best. It's the greatest song. I love it so much because I would specifically go. I love curating Christmas songs, especially originals. And I would always go down to Vintage Vinyl in New Jersey because they would always do that every year. They would put out tons of Christmas singles and things like that were released by indie art and all kinds of artists. And I would make a pilgrimage down there every year and buy stuff. And I always knew Fountains of Wayne. I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I was not disappointed. So this has become a absolute Christmas classic song for me.
Well, and I think it might be for me. I think I'm going to have to end up just kind of putting it in the same category of just fun Christmas music.
Oh, yeah.
And I would never, as I say often, have listened to that song or stumbled across it more than likely if it wasn't for you. So thank you.
You are welcome.
That being said, I'm going to give it 4 records.
All right. Well, I think that's an extremely respectable, Christmas trees, right? So 4 trees.
I'm sorry, 4 Christmas trees.
4 Christmas
trees.
Yes.
Because first of all, it's hard to really rate Christmas music low. So keep that in mind, friends. Keep that in mind. Is James upset I only gave it 4 records? Oh, no. I don't mean to offend you. It's a 5.
It's a 5.
And you know what? To be fair, James, and this happened to another episode, and I'm not sure what episode number it was, but because Chris's playlist to me was so good that week, it was hard. So I would say Chris and James, it might have been a 5 had maybe some other songs not been on this week. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mean to offend you, James. Please forgive me.
Sorry. It's no Uptown Girl,
He was just happy again. Don't make him sad.
Just make him get the poop face again.
Yeah, he just said don't go there.
Oh, there it is. There. Well, I'm so glad that you like the song. I was really hoping you would and find the fun in this because I would like an alien for Christmas, by the way. So Justin, if anybody's out there wondering what you want to send me for Christmas, definitely an alien about 3 feet high who knows how to fly.
Keep that in mind.
Yes, thank you.
Knows how to fly part might be the difficult part.
Yeah. Well, make it happen.
Make it happen.
All right. So your first song for me is the Carpenters, "Merry Christmas, Darling." And I think I've said this before on the show, but I'm going to say it again because last week I dropped that Casey Musgraves is a guilty pleasure for me.
Yes.
And I am 100% a Carpenters fan. I love the Carpenters. I grew up on the Carpenters. Carpenters were on in my house all the time. My whole family loves the Carpenters. I love the Carpenters, and Merry Christmas, Darling just ranks up there with a Christmas song I absolutely need to hear. I need to hear it more than once a year. And it's just one of those things where like, it just totally, for me, it takes me right back to like Christmas. Like I mean, I know it's a Christmas song, but just that, all those feelings, like growing up, being around family, my grandparents, all the stuff that we do basically, you know, the whole week of Christmas is like something's going on constantly. So it just gives me the warm and fuzzies. I'm going to do it, Amanda. It makes me feel very, very warm. It's a warm Christmas blanket.
It's like a Christmas hug.
Yes. It's a Christmas hug. And, so I really like the song. I mean, I love this song. This is something I listen to constantly, but I do want to drop some. I found some cool, because I also think the fun thing too about a lot of Christmas music, especially originals and things like, is where it came from. Because I think, as we all know, you know, Christmas music, holiday songs, even passed down, reworked, rewritten, rearranged, inspired. You know, there's you could like a Christmas song, but you cannot like a certain artist's version of it, where you could say, well, I like that song, but I like only that version of the song. So that's why I think Christmas music is fun like that. So this one in particular, it's got some interesting history. So
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, coming from songfacts.com. This was actually the Carpenters' first attempt at a Christmas song, is what I found out. And the lyrics were written in 1946 by Frank Pooler when he was 18 years old. And he was actually the choir director at California State University in Long Beach, which Karen and Richard Carpenter were both part of.
Oh my goodness.
And in 1966, he requested that Richard Carpenter compose the music for the ballad, which was first released in 1970. And then this sparked the interest for them to do an entire Christmas record, an album, which Christmas Portrait, which was later released in October 13th, 1978. It's some more interesting stuff here is this is what Frank Pooler said. So according to him, the song was about a love interest he had at the time. 22 years later, in 1966, when he was a choral director, two aspiring music students, Karen and Richard Carpenter, who were beginning to have success as a local band, asked him, who was their favorite professor, if he had any ideas for holiday songs. So according to Pooler, he said they became very tired of the standard holiday songs they were singing. Pooler gave them the lyrics of the song he had written from years before and told them he did not think much of the original melody. So according to Pooler, Richard wrote a new tune for the lyrics, the tune currently used in 15 minutes. Richard Carpenter wrote it. Yeah, and 4 years later, in 1970, they recorded it and released it as a single.
That's fascinating.
I do. That's why I love reading the stories about this. And here's another interesting tidbit, considering you're such a huge Elvis fan. This is something else I found out. So this is so I don't know if this is true, but this was something that Frank Pooler had said in a magazine, which I couldn't find the actual magazine. I could only find this quote, but it said Elvis Presley almost recorded his own version of the song in the early 1970s, but struggled learning the bridge as he could not read music and he gave up. He never recorded it. So he tried to record it, had a hard time with the bridge, and then just, you know, threw in a towel on trying to do his own version. And I thought that was interesting, considering we have another Elvis song on here on your picks.
And while I love them both, Karen Carpenter and Elvis, it's just such a different.
Oh man.
And her voice is just like melting butter.
It's off the charts.
It's not strained. It gives me goosebumps just even thinking that. It's just, you just listen to it and you go, gosh, how can you not relax and just enjoy the moment of those songs that she sings, because they're just so good.
So good.
This one.
So good. And, you know, most of the people too, I mean, for people who don't know much about the Carpenters, you know, Karen and Richard are just, I mean, when you talk about incredibly talented musicians, they are like off the charts. And, you know, some people may know this, or may not, but Karen Carpenter was an amazing drummer, jazz drummer.
I didn't know that.
And when the Carpenters first started playing, they would play live, and Karen Carpenter would play drums and sing from behind the kit. And they finally were like, you can't do that anymore because people want to see you like be the front woman and all that. And she really did not want to do it because she was incredibly shy, did not want to be out front like that. She just wanted to play drums and sing. There are some amazing videos of her on YouTube. If you can find, I mean, they're out there of her just ripping drums. It's like both her and her brother, just amazingly talented musicians, could pretty much play anything, and just very cool. So, and you know, I love this Christmas record. I love this song. So,
ooh,
my rating.
I've got my pen.
Merry Christmas, Darling. This is a 5 tree song. I mean, come on.
Yes,
I'm not even gonna screw around here. This is 5 trees. This is 5 Christmas. This is a tree that is so bright you can see it from space.
Yes.
Loaded with the greatest ornaments ever. The classy glass ornaments.
Yes.
With the nice big colored bulbs on it.
Absolutely. This tree is, like you said, so bright that it's finding aliens.
Right.
So I can get you one for Christmas.
Right. The aliens are coming.
Because of Karen Carpenter. Thank you, Karen.
That's right. Yes. Thank you, Karen Carpenter. Thank you, Richard Carpenter, for writing the song in 15 minutes.
No kidding. Like, what a bundle of chance meeting type of stuff, you know? Because
I know.
That I feel like is probably their most popular, and maybe people would disagree, but their most popular and most loved Christmas song.
I think there's definitely, that record, there's a lot on there, but I think when people like Merry Christmas, Darlings, like that's their signature Christmas tune.
I'm not sure that anyone could sing it again and have me like their version better. It's just so good. It's just so good.
I think it's tough. I know that there's been a couple versions done. I know Leah Michele did one on a Glee Christmas. She covered it. So I didn't actually hear that version. And actually Karen Carpenter redid the song actually, there's a difference in 1970 and then they re-recorded it in 1978. And the difference is she changed the vocal up a little bit. But Richard Carpenter said he prefers the original version the best because he thinks that her voice sounds perfect on the original recording.
Made for that song.
Yeah.
I receive those 5 Christmas trees.
Yes. They have been given to you.
Yes. All right. Chris's second song to me.
Yes.
All the gifts I need. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just, nope. All I was going to say is I just wanted to check in with the audience real quick, see how everybody's doing down there.
I'm just so excited. Chris,
I know. Well, I can't wait to hear what you say about this because I'm like super excited about this record and this song in particular, but this whole record. So I just wanted to see how everybody's doing down there. If you're having a good time hearing us talk about these tunes, and obviously if there's tunes too that you like or you think that we should talk about in the future, or you just want to share, let us know. Put them in the comments or raise your hand, jump on up. So, but yeah, otherwise I hope you guys are all having a great time. So if you want to jump up, just let us know.
Absolutely. We don't bite. And we're in really good mood today because
we are. It's Christmas in July. Yeah.
Okay. So your second song to me was "All the Gifts I Need" by JD McPherson.
All the gifts I need.
Oh my gosh! So I feel like that probably already gave away a lot of my things I'm about to say, but I had the same reaction that I had when I listened to the last song by him that you had me listen to. And it just immediately went into, even though it's a different category than the Karen Carpenter, it has me melt in a different way. Instead of melting, it has me almost energized.
Right.
It's just such a fun,
so fun.
The beat is just so great, as most of his songs are.
Yeah.
So I love him. I just love him. I love the sound of him. I want to dance anytime I hear any of his music. I feel like he could sing the most odd phrases, and I still would melt over how he sings it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd have to see if he sang Skulls, if my mind would be changed about those lyrics.
That would be amazing.
JD McPherson, do you think you can make that happen? Give me an idea of really
Special request.
How far you can push my love for the sound of your voice.
Yeah. Special request. Amanda Sharp would like to hear you do a version of Skulls. JD McPherson, please.
I I just need to see the level of my love. It's okay. So I love the lyric, "It isn't even Christmas yet, and I have all I need." I just think that's so sweet because I think that's a lot of people. You know, if you really look around, it's Christmas isn't about the gifts. It's about who you share it with and just how blessed many of us are. And overall, I loved it so much. So I don't have a ton of notes just because most of them are, I just love his voice. I love his voice. I love his voice. So I'll be curious to see what you have to add to this. But with all of that, or a little bit of that being said, I have to give it 5 records.
Oh, yes. Look at that.
5 Christmas trees. 5 Christmas trees. 5 Christmas trees.
5 Christmas trees.
You know, and I have to be fair, there's a lot in Amanda's head, in Amanda's world. There's a lot of 5 Christmas tree Christmas music.
Right.
It takes a lot for something to even be a 3 Christmas treeer.
Right.
So I want to be fair, but 5 Christmas trees all day long.
That is awesome. And so this record, the whole record, it's all original Christmas tunes. It's called.
This is on Socks, right?
This is on Socks.
Okay.
Yeah. So JD McPherson, awesome artist from Nashville, Tennessee, and has a classic like Sun Record sound, combination of like rockabilly, country, old time like rock and roll stuff. You know, he has nailed it. Even a little surf in there, like he has absolutely nailed the sound. 3 records in, just each record gets better and better. We've talked about him on the show before with Let the Good Times Roll. There's just all his records to me are absolutely perfect. There's not a bad song on any record. And then he drops this I think it was 2019. He drops this, or 18, I can't remember, but he drops a Christmas record called Socks, all original tunes, all done in that style. Just an amazing, like fun, classic Christmas record. If I'm telling anybody, if you're looking for some new Christmas music out there and stuff that's just fun, original, like old time rock and roll with all those, what I was just talking about, that you will not be disappointed by this record. It is so much fun to listen to. Even I listen to it not during Christmas. Like I listen to this record year round.
Absolutely. Well, and the thing, like, think for an artist to actually do a Christmas album with only originals, that's pretty risky.
Yeah, and it's just great. And he tours on this too. And
amazing.
Every year around the holidays, they do like a very small tour, like maybe like 10 to 15 shows max. And they play the record and they do a couple of their songs. And so last year they didn't do it. So what they did is they did a live stream, and it was so much fun. It was hilarious. It was like they played, and then he was like in a chair with like reading. It was just very funny and corny, but like just fun. And
the world needed at the time.
Yeah, it really was. It was like, like this is so great. And I just remember like I was sitting, I was watching it. Rachel and I were like dancing in the living room, and like it's just,
it makes you want to dance.
Oh, it's totally makes you want to like shuffle and swing and the whole thing.
It's like it goes along with swing dancing.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, find me a partner and start swinging me around.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
All I got is sway.
Yeah,
the only way I can elevate it is if someone starts swinging me around. Which would probably make me sick. Hey, Victoria, she hopped up on stage.
Yeah.
Hi to you. Hello,
welcome.
Hello. Victoria, are you there?
Hi.
Hi.
You?
Hi, friend. How are you?
Good. How are you? Such a fun show.
Why, thank you.
Here. Did you have a story or thoughts on some of the songs that we've reviewed so far?
Yeah, I just wanted to add one other note to the wonderful tribute you've been giving to Karen Carpenter.
Oh.
And yeah, she was an amazing drummer. Absolutely amazing. And one of the things that I often thought about was because of the period of time where she came to fame, she didn't have the opportunity to do both, as I think she would have had more space to, like we look at Lady Gaga, who does so much. I think it would have done so much for both of their artistic abilities had they come to fame at a different time, because they were both kind of pigeonholed with their audience.
Mm-hmm.
And especially Karen, because she had so much talent and she was also a woman. Mm-hmm. And so that was the only thing I just wanted to add, that I think if she had come to fame like around now when we so appreciate women's voices and talents, she probably would have been able to do both her drumming and even play jazz music the way we see like Rod Stewart doing, the classics, which is like, really, Rod Stewart, you're singing the classics, the songbook. That's what it is, like Cole Porter and stuff. I think she just would have, her particular talents would have just been more expanded. So I just want to add that because they were both amazingly talented. They still, Richard still is, and he went on to producing, which was really great to hear. So I just wanted to add that. So I'm Victoria. I'm here to continue as long as you'd have me.
Thank you. Feel free to or stay on the stage rather. But what a good point. What a really good point. I think she probably could have done more like to Victoria's point. So she's gone way too soon for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
As so many wonderful artists are.
Yeah, it really is. It's a shame. Yeah, it always breaks my heart to like, you always think about that of like what would have happened or what could have been, and it's sad because you feel like, oh man, we lost such an amazing creative soul who just brought you hear these songs that brings you joy and happiness, and and to know that they're not able to continue on doing what they do because of their time being cut short is it stinks, but it really stinks, and especially with someone like her who's so talented and so proficient and just, oh my gosh, it's like you would love to have heard what she would have been doing now. But then all I can say is, well, at least we have what we have and we can still enjoy those things, and we can talk about her and keep her, she lives on forever in these kinds of conversations.
Absolutely. Her decades and decades later, to think that this is one of my top songs, my first choice for my Christmas list, and you're giving it 5 Christmas trees. That's released, super impressive.
Released in 1970. It's 2021.
That just speaks to the talent for sure. So hopefully the future generations love that sound and her voice as much as we do.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think when we listen to it, and like we play all this stuff in the house, and the girls love the Christmas music too, and for as young as they are, but they get exposed to this and they like these songs. So it's like, it keeps going generation to generation. I think
the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah. Merry and Christmas. I think especially with Christmas music in general, like a lot of the older songs, like I learned to love because that's what we listened to around the holidays. And like, then my parents listened to stuff that my grandparents listened, and it's just, and it's sort of is passed on. Like you make new traditions with your family, but you bring the old ones in as well. So every generation you keep some of the old and make some new, because that's, as we grow and all that. But and that's why I love the holiday time, and especially the music. I know for some people, Christmas music drives people absolutely bananas, and I get that. It drives me bananas when you go in the store and they play the same 30 songs over and over again. That's why I love finding like new songs or new versions and things like that. It keeps it fresh.
I love it too. And again, I wouldn't have listened to these type of songs without you. So again, that's why I love this show. And every show we do, we get to talk about and bring life back to some of these older songs, which is so much fun. So
absolutely,
I am pumped. So
awesome.
So for all the gifts, I need 5 Christmas trees.
5 Christmas trees. Excellent. So your second song to me is Elvis Presley. A blue Christmas. Blue Christmas without you. And so I will say, when I think of Elvis Christmas, thank you very much.
Thank you, Randall.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. So when I think of Elvis Christmas, like this is like, for me, the definitive Elvis Christmas song. Blue Christmas. And I've listened, I own the Elvis Christmas record on vinyl. I own it on CD. I've got, because this is another record I grew up with, in my family. It's something that it's always been around, and so it was what we were just talking about, like traditions and generations and things like that. And Blue Christmas is one of those songs for me that I just really like. I've said I like Elvis. I respect him. I'm not a gigantic Elvis fan, like fanatic about it, but I enjoy Elvis, especially older Elvis. And this I really like because it is kind of that older Elvis style for me. And you know, and I am unsentimental about it. I grew up with it. But I feel like that this is a definitive Elvis Christmas song. So history about this song, because there's always, anytime you have Elvis involved, there's always going to be some history of like where the song came from and all this. So there's some interesting facts here. So one is, according to songfacts.com, is originally recorded by Western actor Doy Odell in 1948. The song found popularity 2 years later with a cover by Ernest Tubb, and Elvis Presley recorded it in 1957 for his Elvis's Christmas album. But it wasn't released as a single until 1964 when it was in the U.S. when it was backed with Wooden Heart from Elvis's soundtrack from his film G.I. Blues. But from 1965 and on, it was backed with Santa Claus is Back in Town. So just some little interesting about the release and the history of the song. The song has been covered by, but this is a very well covered song. I mean, I think everybody's heard a version of Blue Christmas. So Here are some of the artists that have covered Blue Christmas over the years: Ringo Starr, Celine Dion, The Beach Boys, Sheryl Crow, Smash Mouth, Brooks and Dunn, Vince Gill, Face to Face, who we've talked about on the show, Bette Midler, Harry Connick Jr., Shakin' Stevens, Bill Haley and the Comets. I don't know this one. Eilert Pilarm. I'm not familiar. I'm probably butchering. Sorry, Eilert, if I'm butchering your name. Margaret O'Hara. Here's one for you. The Misfits. The Misfits.
That actually might go.
I'll send you that version.
Listen to that version.
Yeah. Freddie Fender, Collective Soul, and last but not least, Porky Pig. There's a list of
Can't forget the Porky Pig.
Can't forget the Porky Pig. This is the only version to chart in America, and it was charted by a family act called the Browns. So this song didn't even chart until somebody else covered it, and it was the Browns covered it. I just thought that was interesting. But here's a really funny thing I think you'll find interesting about the song, and I laugh. So in a 2012 interview with one of Elvis's backup singers who's on the record, her name's Millie Kirkham, she said that Elvis originally recorded the song with total reluctance. He said, "Let's just get this over with," he told his band, and urged them to do something silly on the recording. So they responded by singing the woo wee woo woo, you know, how the background vocal there the whole time. And she said, when we got through, we all laughed so hard and said, well, that's one record the company will never release. So they did that to kind of ruin the song because he wanted to do something silly because he just wanted to get the song over with and didn't even want to do the song.
How fascinating.
Yeah. I thought that was a really funny like little nugget there on the creation of his version of the song, and like he did it with reluctance and said do something silly in the hopes that they wouldn't even release the record.
And then boom.
Yeah. And that woo wee woo, which I loved. I actually really enjoy that part of the song. I love that it goes on underneath it.
Very fascinating. I just love it. It just makes you think Christmas. I mean, naturally it's a Christmas song, but when I think of Christmas, these are my go-to songs. Mm-hmm. Love that. Love that.
Yes. Hey, Victoria, so you came off mic.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, isn't that always the case? When you just throw it off the cuff and you don't realize that sometimes when you try and make it so sophisticated, the public really wants to respond to just you having fun and enjoying yourself. And that's what they heard and responded to. I love that story. Because that you hear that time and time again that, oh, we didn't expect this to be a hit. And then it blew up. I love that.
True.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, you've heard that through so many stories of like, we hated the song, so we tried to throw this in and ruin it, and it wound up becoming the thing that actually made the song hooky or gave it like, you know, the thing that made it popular because the public was like, and it's like, oh my God, like that's the part they hated and they put it in to ruin it, and it actually turned out to be a thing that made the song a big hit, you know.
Crazy.
I always find these stories fascinating of the behind the scenes of the making of these records and the songs and how the artist felt and whatever. So my rating for Blue Christmas, is I'm going to give it, this is a 4 Christmas tree song for me.
Okay.
And the reason why is because it's a great song. I love it. I listen to it. It's in a different level than Merry Christmas Darling, because that, like I said, that song just makes me feel like, it's a Christmas hug, like you said. And but I love this song's great. I mean, I listen to it. It's a go-to. It's been in my family. This record has been in my family for years, and so it's a cool tune.
It's how I feel about I Want an Alien for Christmas. I don't mean to justify my four Christmas trees, but when you stack it against something else, it's hard to give it a 5 Christmas tree rating. So I accept that for Christmas tree rating on that. So good. We have
Excellent.
Graceland, like the light up Christmas Graceland, and it plays this song. So
do you really?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
When he was little, he used to play it over and over and over, and it was just super fun. So I have lots of fun memories with this sweet song.
Nice.
Okay. Number 3 song that Chris gave me to review was Candy Cane Lane by Sia. And oh my goodness. I feel like you picked this song specifically because you knew I would just love it. Like, it's so good. It's so good. It's an Amanda Christmas song.
I love Sia so much. I think she's just great. I love her voice. I love her attitude on things. I love the way she runs her career. Her story. I love Sia. I just think she's an amazing artist.
Never had heard of her before. So now I'm going to be her sound. I really like her sound. And it made me think of another artist I can't think of the name of. And I almost thought it was that artist. But then I was like, no, that's not the picture of the other artist. But I didn't care enough to go investigate because I was just enjoying my Sia. So I can't wait to hear some information about her. But I love the beginning of it. There's the jingle bells. So it gets you you know it's a Christmas song.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. It goes James, and his taste is very yes. I like it. For someone who doesn't really wasn't thrilled about the Christmas episode 13, he's really diving in with us. So thank you for that, James. I know it's not December, so I appreciate you entertaining our episode of
Christmas in July.
I really love the chorus. I think the chorus is fantastic in this song.
Catchy.
Yes. My head just naturally bops. It's impossible to stand still or sit still during this song. And lastly, I just am so glad that I'm adding 3 songs to a playlist that I wouldn't have listened to. And I think I'm going, how can I, because we know my genres are not genres, they are actual Pandora stations is how I put them in the category. So now I'm how am I going to add these to my, how am I going to Pandora station these? Because am I going to do a station Candy Can Lane and see what gets thrown at me and just start disliking and liking? I'm not sure. I want to have Hippopotamus for Christmas PlayStation or Pandora Station. So I'm going to have to tweak this and see if I can maybe start getting some different songs from Sia that or similar in difference, because everything I listen to is very traditional Christmas music that everyone pretty much would know.
Yeah. I this is another record that is, I think almost all the songs are originals by her. That's
amazing.
And and I love her inspiration behind this whole record, because she wanted it. And this song to me is completely emblematic of the whole record. Is this? She wanted to go for that big Phil Spector Wall of Sound, the classic, all the classic holiday songs that we love that came off, the Phil Spector Presents with the Ronettes and all, that whole 50s, the Wall of Sound, and that Phil Spector Presents Christmas record. Every single song on that record is amazing, and this is her version of that. That big with the bells and the layers, and just the big choruses and just all that total holiday fun. And so it's a big Christmas record. It's just a ton of fun to listen to, and she's really into it. And I love that was she could do this, but she put out a lot of original songs and put the time into making it have this really cool retro sound, but yet
Very
still very
much.
relevant and modern, and
Yes.
really, and the way she sings just gives it that flavor. It's just, I just find she has such a unique a voice, and the way
So
I
true.
love her. I think she's great. So this
I
record was just so cool.
I put her and JD like kind of in that same bracket of uniqueness and kind
Mhm.
of similar. They could have lived in a different generation and been just fine because of the way that their voice is and the way that they sing it. And I always go back to, when did they start letting their personality show through their music? Because, you know, in school you're taught to sing a certain way. Like, at what point in time did they discover that they had not just a voice, but their voice?
Well, Sia is an interesting artist because she has been a very behind the scenes singer for years, of doing backups and
Wow.
collabs, and she never, like, she still does, you know, tries not to show her face. That's why she, you know, if you ever see her, she's got the
Seriously?
gigantic wig that hides her like eyes. I mean, she
Yeah.
shows her face, but because she's older and she knows the music industry, so she was like, well, fine, I'll just won't show my face so people don't ever know
She's
really how
older?
old I am. Yeah. And she's older by music industry standards. Let's like,
Fair.
yeah.
Fair.
And about her voice, she's collabed on so many hit songs, and then finally
Wow.
she's been putting stuff. So she had a big breakout record a few years back with the song Chandelier, and that record was huge, and that, I mean, if you want to find out what the Sia sound is, I mean, that's the record, is like, that was her like big breakout, like, you know, like, screw it, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm doing my own thing.
Listen to her.
I love her voice, especially in that song too, like Chandelier. I just think is great. You actually hear, like, it's hard to describe. You'll definitely have to check it out. I'd love to have a deeper discussion about Sia with you.
Yeah, I felt just good when I was hearing her voice, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to dive into her more. There was something about her voice that really just
she's got a very
captivated me.
great organic voice. Just naturally singing. Like, if you hear her just sing without a lot of studio production, she still sounds like ridiculous. Like, she just is. I just find her so talented.
Nothing's more disappointing to me than hearing somebody that I had fallen in love with live, and you go, that's what they sound like live?
Yeah. You know, it's tough.
It's like when you run into somebody in person and you filter them, like they've filtered themselves so much in their pictures that you're like, that can't be the same person.
Can't possibly be the same person.
You can't be who I thought.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? It's called fish. What is it? Fishtail? Catfishing.
Oh, catfishing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, catfishing.
I was like, fishtail. What is
Fishtails.
Fishtails for everybody. I got there. But I'm excited. So with all of those things being said, I love the song. It's going on a playlist. It makes me happy. 5 Christmas trees.
Wow, nice.
5
wow.
Christmas trees, and then a 4. I mean,
in one show.
You can't ask for anything better.
Wow. Great. Look at this. Look at this. This is great. Look at all these Christmas trees being doled out. No Christmas trees on fire. Nothing. It's all good. Hey, I see Mike Ham is down there. They're our official show sponsor of today's show. Mike Ham, host of The Morning Spotlight. Welcome.
Welcome, Mike. I almost was like, see, we're wearing your shirts.
I know.
They can't see us.
Yeah. Well, he'll see it on the when we put it up on YouTube.
Yes, he will.
And we'll also have them on in the after party. So, you know, as we do after every show, we go live on Instagram for our little after party. Thank you, Randall, for helping us name that. But yes, the Chris and Amanda after party happens on Instagram live right after the show. So
sure does.
See our awesome Morning Spotlight shirts. Yes.
Love it.
So, as we coming to the end of the show, we still have one more song left to talk about. And this one is one I was waiting to talk about because I swore that there were 2 versions of the song, and I found out that it was not true. So
you know what is really interesting? So the one that's on our Spotify, I was like, it sounded different to me.
Yes, thank you. It sounds different to me too. So I think there are 2 versions of this song, but the other one seems to have disappeared.
Because when I listened to my Pandora station, like it had a different sound. And I mean, it's still the same song, but it's one off.
it's re-recorded somewhere along the way, and I could swear there's a different version of this, but I can't find it anywhere, and I feel like it was just disappeared.
We know our Hey Santa.
Thank you, because I kept saying this over and over again. I had this talk with my mother yesterday, so we were talking about it. She's like,
I'm so glad. I wasn't going to say that because it was my song pick, and I didn't want to seem like I didn't know my own song pick. And I was
nope.
like, this is not what I thought.
I was swearing up and down, like, there's another version of the song out there. So
Yes.
I will find it. We will find it. And when I find it, I'll adding it to that playlist.
Yes.
So, Hey Santa, released in 1993 by Carney and Wendy Wilson. See, now why I think that there's two versions of this, I feel like this was recorded as a Wilson Phillips song. And then I feel like they re-recorded it and took her out when she left the band, Michelle Phillips. So that's why I feel like that there's a Wilson Phillips version and then there's a Carney and Wendy Wilson version, although I cannot find a trace of it. But I think if I do more sleuthing, I'll find it. Anyway, so for anybody that's never heard this song, I find it to be a very fun song. I will say the beginning of this song, I wish, and I've heard the beginning trimmed on radio. Yeah. So there's a whole, and I get it. It is like this whole kiddie thing, but I like when the song starts. So I kind of don't like that very, very opening of the song. I just want them to get right to the song. But what's interesting about this, I didn't know this, was that this song and this record was the first release by the Wilson sisters, by Carney and Wendy Wilson, after Wilson Phillips went on hiatus. So this was their first solo record, was this Christmas record. And the record actually tanked. It did not do well. It commercially was a commercial failure as far as commercial sales go. However, this song has done really well. This song in particular has sort of lived on and really has been latched onto. So when people are doing their holiday mixes and all this, and on radio has really helped keep this song alive. And Hey Santa, the song has taken on this whole life separate from the record. And so the song was originally written by Jack Kugel, who wrote it with them. He wrote it with the sisters. So it was sort of like a combination thing. So it wasn't like a cover of another song. It was like it was written with him. And the title track's about a man returning home to his love on Christmas after his love wished that Santa would bring her baby home tonight. So bring a baby home. So that's what the song is about. And, I like it. I think it's cool. I found, and I didn't realize this, although it makes sense now, that Carl Wilson, it does the background vocal at the end of the song. So he's like really featured. So Carl Wilson, if anybody doesn't know, is founding member of the Beach Boys. He's also, the uncle of, Carney and Wendy Wilson, being, basically rock royalty there. That's what Wilson Phillips was the mamas and the papas and the Beach Boys, offspring creating together. And I love Wilson Phillips, by the way. Another spoiler alert, everybody. I love that first Wilson Phillips record. It's amazing. Oh, don't you know? Things will change. Things are going your way. Just hold on for one more day. Great record. So, yeah. Go from Wilson Phillips to Kill Switch Engage.
That's right. That's right.
That's how my musical tastes go. So,
it's okay.
Yeah. So I really like the song. I love the chorus. It's so fun. It's a really, really cool song to sing around the house, and especially when we're like, we're a lot of times like wrapping gifts and stuff like that. And it's on, Hey Santa, Hey Santa. It's very fun. So but this version of the song, like I was saying, I don't like that beginning, and I know there's another version that exists of the song. They did re-release this song. I found it somewhere, but I didn't put any notes here, but I did see that they did re-release the song in the late 90s or something like that, or actually maybe I have to go find that note, but they did re-release it because it had caught on with this popularity of that one song, that they re-released the single. And I got a feeling that what's on Spotify is the re-released single, not the original version that originally came out back in the 90s. And I got a feeling that Michelle Phillips was on that original track and they took her off. It's just my gut on that.
I I'm pretty sure the one that I hear on Pandora is the normal version.
Right.
That we feel like we know.
Yeah. I'm like, there's something off. I feel like there's a missing voice in this recording. Still a great song though.
Mhm.
So I give this 4 Christmas trees. It's a fun song to sing. The version that we have on the Spotify playlist, if you just kind of fast forward through the first 15 to 20, I mean, it doesn't last that long. It's just, I just want to get right to hearing the Wilson sisters singing. And that whole big chorus. Hey, Santa.
I
hey,
know.
Santa.
How can you not belt it?
So good.
It's
so good.
It's so good. It's so good. So we got a 5 record from you and 2 4s.
Yep.
Overall,
Christmas trees.
This Christmas in July, episode 13, killing it on the ratings. Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Crushing
it. Yes, I love it.
Yes. So we had nothing below
fun.
a 4 Christmas tree on this episode.
Oh, man,
there was
fantastic.
no 2 Christmas trees, no Christmas trees on fire.
Nothing. Not even a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Not even a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
It would have been I think a two Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to invite anyone who has anything to say about episode 13, the Christmas in July version of the Chris and Amanda Show, to feel free to raise your hand and come up to the stage. Mike, if you have an opportunity to hop up, that would be fantastic. No biggie if not. And Victoria, what are your thoughts after this fun show?
Lots of fun. Wonderful ideas. Some songs I haven't heard of, so I'm definitely going to go and listen to them. And I was wondering if I may share a couple of my favorites, if that's okay with you.
Of course, yes. Please.
Thank you. So I'll just run down the list because I know you have limited time, and then you could go from there. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Okay. So one of my favorites is John Lennon's, And So This Is Christmas.
Oh,
great song.
I love that song.
A memory of that song in the Dollar Tree or the dollar store when I was super young. There was, I had 3 siblings and mom and dad. So my mom would give each of us $5 and we would go in there, we'd get 5 gifts, like when we were very, very young. So I don't know why I remember that song so like vividly from that store, but I do.
That is so fun. And then the second one is Jose Feliciano's Wishing You a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I think
Very
that's the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got such rhythm and passion, and it's just so him and beautiful. And then a fun song, and I don't know who wrote it, but it's really a fun song. I just think of it as fun because the title doesn't sound that fun. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Elmo and Patsy.
Who's that?
Elmo and Patsy.
Oh, okay. I remember the first time I heard the title, I was like, what? But the song is just so much fun. And how it's
a riot.
Yeah, it's just a fun song. And then my last one, which is just, I don't know what it is with this song, but every time I hear it, it just brings up so much emotion, is Judy Garland's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
It's just...
Yeah.
So thanks for letting me add that. One of the things that I do is, my work is about capturing images, capturing memories, because I'm a photographer. And so I do this whole thing on image power formula to have people be comfortable on camera. And so when I hear songs, and you just gave me a great idea of how you were just sharing, Amanda, how, this song brought up this memory and another song brought up another memory. And that's just so special. And music really does that. It brings up those special memories. It's just, so thank you for including me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Victoria. And that's one thing. I have a terrible memory. And so for some reason, though, I can remember memories to songs. And so I think that's why I love music so much. It just stirs and makes me have my feelings as we reference it. And the Grandma Got Ran Over by the Reindeer one, I'm not ashamed to say I was listening to Christmas music while going to the store yesterday, and I had to stop and get gas. And on the way to get gas, I'm listening to this song, and I said, you know what? Like, that would be a great way to go out. Because if my grandkids were like, yeah, Granny got ran over by a reindeer, like, I wouldn't hate it. This is what was in my mind yesterday as I'm listening to that song, Victoria.
Oh, how funny.
That's so great. Yeah, you want to get, yeah, that's a good story. That would be a great story.
We're all going to die sometime, so let's have a good story.
I want an alien for Christmas, and you would like to get run over by a reindeer.
When it's time.
When it's time.
When it's time.
So happy.
Yes.
You never know what we're going to talk about on the Chris and Amanda show.
Nope. It's a total crapshoot.
It really is. Oh, goodness. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, my gosh. Final thoughts, because I've just enjoyed this show so much.
Wow. This was so great. I was so happy we did this because, I mean, we from day one, we were talking about like, oh, I can't wait till we do a Christmas episode. And then it's like, well, wait a second. We're just going to give ourselves an excuse to do an early Christmas episode.
Absolutely.
But it makes so much sense. It's Christmas in July. It's fun.
In July.
And, and obviously we'll be doing all the regular stuff. We'll be going, doing again. But we'll definitely be doing another holiday episodes probably in December for sure. And we'll be keeping the Chris and Amanda Christmas playlist going and growing and all that. And absolutely, I love what you just said, Victoria. So all those songs are great. So they're probably all going to be added to the playlist as well. And we'll be talking about a lot more songs, holiday Christmas songs later on in the year for sure. But this was just such a great episode. It was so much fun. And, I think it was a good way to end July with, because you're going to be away on vacation next week. So
yes.
We're kind of undecided whether or not there's going to be any kind of a show next week. I feel weird not doing a show with you.
I'm ruining everything.
No, you're not ruining anything. But but this may be the last show for July, but that's okay. We'll be right back the week after. Yep. Maybe I'll pop on and do some kind of like nonsense like top 10 list or something like that.
You absolutely I'm sure you could come up with something very fascinating.
Yeah, we'll just keep checking back on Instagram for any kind of announcements as we may or may not go live next week, but it won't be a Chris and Amanda show, so to speak. It'll be sort of like
a bonus episode.
Yes, a bonus episode. Yes,
an
epilogue.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So how did you? Well, go ahead, Victoria.
Okay.
I was just saying, you just reminded me of an episode from Frasier when he couldn't go on. He did the best of Frasier. So I was just thinking, the best of Chris and Amanda.
That'd be pretty funny.
That would be interesting to compile some of the clips that you've pulled from some of the shows and do greatest hits of the shows. What a hot mess.
There's a lot of clips.
Good idea, Victoria.
Yeah, very good.
So anyway, just want to say thank you so much for having me. Great show. Have a great holiday. And thanks for including me. And I'm glad that you like the songs. And I can't wait for your next episode. And have a great week. And
you too, Victoria.
Thanks, Victoria. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah. So, man, this was a great show. I had so much fun.
So much fun. And Mike, thank you again for sponsoring episode 13, Christmas in July.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure you check out the Morning Spotlight anywhere you can get podcasts. It's a wonderful show. It's awesome. Mike does these great interviews with not only just people involved in the real estate industry, but also, other business owners, entrepreneurs, interesting folks who just have great stories. Mike's a great interviewer and a lot of awesome episodes. And I'm not just saying that because he's a sponsor and because I was also a guest on one of the shows. I love listening to his show. I always learn so much from the different people he features on the show. So definitely check out the Morning Spotlight for show and get one of these awesome Morning Spotlight shirts.
Super comfortable, by the way. Super comfortable.
Very comfy, very comfy. You'll be able to see them right after we're done with this. We're going to go live on Instagram for the Chris and Amanda show after party and do a little live and talk about the show.
So you can
see them on there. So any final words, Amanda?
I'm just so glad that we did this. I have been dying to do it since last week. So it's helped soothe my, holiday cheer until December.
For
How
now.
about you? For now.
That was, just great. I get so much joy exposing you to new music. And so when you like it and you're like, oh my God, this is so great, I makes me so happy. So, and I do put a lot of thought into like picking certain songs. Like, I think she may like this. This may be up her alley. I think she'll find this interesting. So I am glad to be able to contribute songs to your life.
The world is opening up. I've been sheltered.
Yes.
So fun.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, head over to IG so you can participate in our live. And we really appreciate every single one of you who tuned in live with us today. It really makes all the difference to have our friendly friends down in the audience.
Absolutely. And also a big thank you to everybody who will be listening to the replay of this and watching the video version of this. We appreciate you very much. Please make sure that you follow us over on IG, on YouTube, on TikTok. All our links are here. If you click the fortune cookie, if you click any of the links, wherever you're watching this, you can get access to our web store, our online store, our merch store, our website, our Patreon account where we do all kinds of other bonus videos on there as well, talking about music videos and all kinds of wackiness. So lots of perks there, and we just appreciate everybody's support. The show's been great. I can't believe we're 13 episodes in. I can't wait to do more. This is awesome. So and it's all because you guys keep showing up and give us all the awesome support and feedback, and just thank you. Really so appreciative.
So true. So true. So we will see you over on IG. Bye, everyone.
See you on IG.